Guys, if that happens to look like you, today's video is going to be of great help to you. G'day guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Bird. I'm a PGA professional based here at the Currabrook Golf Club in southeast Queensland, Australia. In today's video, we're going to be talking about improving your pitching. Now, as you've just seen, that particular swing is quite common to see amongst many players. We're going to talk about the fault at hand. We're going to talk about the work needed to be done, the correct drills to be doing, and how long you can expect the change to take in order to improve your pitching from the action you have to what we'd like to see going forward. Okay, so you're struggling with your pitching. You're probably finding that you're trying to hit those high pitch shots and we end up kind of getting the ball forward and we kind of end up scooping underneath it, trying to get that height because we want that high flight that's going to land and spin back across the green. Unfortunately, guys, that's not how that shot works. So we need to be aware. If you are one of these players that does have that kind of intention to hit the ball super high, there's a couple of things that we need to do in order to match up that action. We're going to discuss that right now. Okay, so we're looking to get the ball to go up in the air. Matchup number one that we're going to see players do is they have the golf ball forward in the stance as part of their setup. The first matchup we're going to get is they're actually going to be leaning and falling back. We're going to be pulling the arms up and away from the ground, okay? The reason being is if we lean back with the goal to hit the ball upwards, and we extend our arms down, we end up hitting the ground too early. It's a fairly common theme across players who end up with the weight on the back foot. But for this particular video here, we find players leaning back, we end up pulling the arms away. And as you can see here, as I pull my arms up, the club avoids hitting the ground. Now, that's a matchup. It can work, but it's not the most functional way to play a shot. It's certainly not going to get the desired outcome that you want. So we need to avoid, where possible, trying to sort of hang back and pull those arms away as we approach impact. And our second matchup that kind of goes hand in hand with that chicken wing motion is we see players throwing their hands and throwing the club head down to the golf ball earlier in an effort to expose the bounce. And the reason being is that they're trying to avoid the club digging in. So if we can sort of throw the club head at the golf ball here, as you can see as I do this, pull my arms away, I expose the sole and the bounce of the club into the ground, the club bounces away from it. So that's going to help us get loft on the club. It's going to help us get the ball up in the air. Again, it is a matchup, but it is far from ideal if we want to be a consistent pitcher of the golf ball. Okay, so what causes this fault of, poor strikes because we're trying to hit the golf ball high up in the air with lots of backspin? It's very simple. Essentially, you have two things that cause that. Number one, poor ball position. We often see players having the golf ball a long way forward when they're pitching in their effort to try to get the ball to go up in the air. Okay? We don't need to do that. We've got loft on the club. Number two, we have incorrect weight distribution. So we often see players that set up kind of getting their weight on that back foot because they're trying to help get the golf ball up in the air. That weight distribution causes its own set of problems. And again, that's why we end up relying on those matchups to kind of negate those two poor faults to begin with. Okay, so let's talk the correction. Firstly, we're going to put the golf ball a little bit further back in the stance. That's important. Having the golf ball forward, yes, will help us get the ball more elevated, but it's also the reason why we see players throwing their hands at the golf ball, or worse than that, is they kind of drive their hands forward. So get the golf ball in the correct spot. That's number one. Number two, as we work through impact, this is really important. If you want to get height on your shots, we actually want to feel like we're extending our left side up and through. So instead of falling back on ourselves and lowering the body and cramping the upper body downwards towards the right hip line here, we're actually going to extend nice and tall. And as you can see here, we're going to get this beautiful contact with the ground. And by simply extending the body up here, we don't drive the hands anywhere near as much, meaning that we have loft on the club, which means we're going to get the height that we're chasing. So as a demonstration swing for you guys, it will look, and I won't hit the golf ball, but I'll demonstrate it. It will look a bit like this. We've got the golf ball in the middle of the stance. We're going to simply work to swing back and then try to extend up and through with the body. And again, beautiful, crisp, clean contact, which is going to give us that nice mid to high flight that you're chasing. Okay, so what sort of training drill should we be doing in order to improve this action, get rid of this fault? Very, very simple. I've got a setup template here, which is going to enable me to make sure I've got the golf ball in the correct spot. Failing that, an alignment stick in a T-junction setting there will help you identify where the golf ball is, but it should be in the center of your stance. Secondly, we're going to grab a towel because this is going to help us with our movement up and through. So common theme you'll notice amongst some of my videos, the reason being, we always seem to have a towel in the golf bag, so that makes it nice and easy. We're going to take the towel, we're going to fold it in half a few times. So we're going to get it so it sits about 1 inch or so in thickness. So when we put that on the ground here, we've got that towel underneath my lead foot here. And this is important, okay? So once I get into my setup position, the feeling I'm going to have, and I'll just move the golf ball out the way for this one, is as I work into my downswing, I want to push up off of the towel, okay? I'm trying to push away from the ground and almost feel like I'm lifting my weight up off of that left foot. The reason being is that's going to help me extend up and through the shot. It's going to ensure that my hands are coming through more passively, more neutral, which is going to help us with that flight. Now, if you're a beginner and you're trying to improve the pitching, or if you're really struggling with pitching, guys, put a golf ball on a tee to start with and just work these swings at real slow motion pace, really focusing on the extension up and through. Getting the setups quite easy, but we need to be focusing on that extension up and through. And then we begin to move the ball from a tee onto the ground, and we can kind of improve the pace, and we can then sort of mess around with a few changes in clubs. But to begin with, it's really, really important. If you are struggling with this motion and movement, get the golf ball on a tee, it will assist. As a disclaimer, there is every chance that you're going to catch a couple of thin shots as you work up the extension. And the reason why you're going to do that is because you're going to have had this chicken wing action going on, and that left elbow is going to want to pull up, which is, again, start on the tee, which enables you to get that left arm extending. And by the time you get the golf ball on the ground, you should be able to come through and clip the ground nice and cleanly and clip that golf ball cleanly each and every time. So, right, coach, give me the veggies. How long is this going to take? Guys, this particular movement doesn't take a whole lot of time to correct. I say not a whole lot of time. Essentially, in the off season, so you're talking like a 2 to 3 month period, you could drastically transform your pitching action from being stuck on the back foot there and pulling the arms away to having that beautiful centralized ball position with a nice extension up and through and getting those nippy, spinny shots. So as always, guys, I appreciate taking the time to watch today's video, and I really do hope that you found it helpful. And I do hope that the videos I'm doing are helping you improve your golf game. As always, do not forget to like the video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out when the videos drop. Guys, please feel free to share the videos with your friends, and if you know someone that needs some help with their game, that would be amazing. Feel free to leave a comment. As you see, I'll always get back to as many comments as I possibly can, whether it be related to today's video, past videos, or even just general golf questions. I'm more than happy to help you. If you get a moment, please feel free to head over and check out my online academy. There you're going to find courses that are designed to help you improve all aspects of your game. And these courses contain upwards of 30 videos in each course, which are designed to go from setup through to motions and movements, through to the actual technique itself, through to training drills, through to games that you can play that are designed to help you improve that aspect of your game. So if you really want some help and you want some more in detailed instruction, please feel free to head over and check that out. Otherwise, until next time, happy golfing.